Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be going over a little bit of a controversial topic and something I've been wanting to discuss and yap about a little bit while I just do some stuff on my account in the background. So sit back, relax, and listen to me yap. So, the topic today is something called power creep. Been playing Rise of Kingdoms for more than, say, like a year or two. You've probably heard this term used. And basically, power creep is when commanders' gear, city skins, armaments, or any of that is getting significantly better than it used to be, than like older commanders or older gear or older armaments. And this causes older players that have been in the game for a while to benefit less. So, the main reason I want to make this video is because a great example of what I mean by power creep is the new formation, Wedge Formation 2. So basically, what they did is they just copy and paste the same name from Wedge Formation, which gave 5% skill damage, I think. Yeah, 5. And put a 2 beside it and doubled, or over doubled, more than doubled the amount of skill damage it gives. And my issue I have with this is, if you look at it from like a player standpoint, not just someone who plays, I mean, they're players too, but people who just play for like the stats and not actually like the fun of the game, you know? It's really like sad how they're not coming up with anything new. Another really good example is like, well, maybe not why she's a good example, but let's say Richard. Richard, for example. Richard, he's one of the most old legendary commanders in the game. He used to be insane. Everyone, you had to max Richard at the beginning when it was named like Rise of Civilizations. You had to max Richard. He was meta. You could do Richard and Charles Martel, CM, or CM, sorry, Sun Tzu, Joan, I think was one of them. Like, all these commanders, and then you get new commanders like Gangnam Chan or Shen or Arthur, BQ. They're just like miles upon miles ahead of these old commanders. And it's really upsetting because there's these cool commanders like Cyrus and Tommy and even like Saladin that used to be good in the game, but they're just not playable anymore and they kind of just sit here and hold no purpose. Like Herman Prime, I think he's a really cool like design. Like I think he's really cool. And especially I see this with garrison commanders like Jadwiga, never used. You'll never see her used again. Eminent, I already know how to say this girl's name, I'm not gonna lie, but you'll never see her used again. He was never used, no one likes him. Justinian, you rarely see him used, if at all. Like, it's just all these old commanders that I know the devs took time to make are just getting dumped down the drain because they're, like, not usable anymore. And I think what they're really trying to do is fix this by, like, using a museum, right? But I don't think what they're doing with the museum is gonna be enough. Like, they're adding, what, 500 damage factor to some of the commanders act like it's gonna make them meta again. Now look, I know the game has to progress and we can't stay with commanders like, I don't know, Nebu forever, where it's like 1,500 damage to targets. You have to eventually get up to levels like Sun Tzu Prime, where it's just big, cool commanders. But I think what they're doing is just completely scrapping old commanders for these new ones, and it's kind of rough. I've heard, however, that this new formation that's coming out, some of them are specializing in single target damage. This is very interesting to me, especially another thing I'll get into in a second is the support tree changes. It's very interesting to me because commanders like Huo, um, another good one is William Wallace. I don't know if he'll count. But all these like single target, wait, you know, he's smite, that won't work. Nevsky maybe. Nevsky's really good. Good stat wise, so I'm sure he could maybe come back. And, you know, just these single target old commanders that lost useful skill damage, being kind of nerfed, can maybe come back, which I think is a good idea. And if they keep implementing that and making sure that it can, like, future formations can help out not just the new ones, but older ones too, I think that'd be really cool. Also, one thing they're doing really well, like I said, is the support tree. You can see here, like let's just check Jen Prawn. She's honestly like really usable now because of her support tree changes. Like right here, used to just be 9% less skill damage, but now it's combo, attack, smite, and skill, which is very nice because not a lot of people other than Shen are running skill damage, so it didn't benefit much. I think there's some other changes. Oh yeah, right here. Um, yeah, it's just that's a really good idea, and the devs are doing well with that. But I think there should be more of an effort to reimagine and let these commanders that used to be good again. I think that'd be a good idea to make the game a little healthier. Uh, Not to mention free-to-play players investing in a commander is a huge deal. Like a huge deal. Like most people, I think most people are sitting around like VIP 15 or 14. Their accounts over like a year old, right? And they're getting like 2-3 gold heads a day. That's not a lot. I know a lot of events, like literally the one that we're in right now, like the 7K gym event, that's amazing for gold heads. I mean, come on. Having just to force the player to invest in like certain commanders and not be able to choose the ones that they think are look or all that is just kind of rough. I think there could be more creativity with that. The main way players find their way around this issue is just like focusing on only maxing the commanders that have like long-term invest time, like Sun Tzu Prime. He's not gonna be gone for maybe 2-3 years, maybe even more. Uh, Shen, he's definitely not going anywhere for a while. He's just insane. But thing is, what if he does go away and they release an archer, or they release a infantry that just destroys Sun Tzu? And it's like, I don't know, 6k damage factor to one target or something crazy like that. And that's where we're gonna get to over time. Like if this game really needs to last, it's just gonna be huge amounts of damage and making there be over more of the commanders now, even than now, that are just useless. And I don't want to see that at all. I want to see this game be successful. So I think that's about all I had to say about this topic. Thanks for listening to me. Yeah, and yeah, peace.